we've got a lot of parameters to use for this Preppin data. So let's take a look at our data that we're working with. So we have information about all these rides that have been done. We want to clean up the data set first before we can filter down to particular rides. Okay, so we're starting off by merging together these two values so that they're all saying min rather than min and kilometers. So we just click on both of them and merge them together. So using the group values. So when you've clicked on two values, if I go back to the step before so I can show you those steps. So clicking on both of them, use group values, that will group those together into one. And then we can just rename that to minutes. So it comes up with the little text input, type in minutes, and we're done. I'm just going to remove that change though, because we do that in this latest step. Okay, our next thing is that we want to split up from this F5 column our coach, our calories, and our music. So if we go to this step here, then when we go to that F5, then we can go to the drop-down menu and we can say split values. And if we select the automatic split, it's automatically going to pick up that there is a dash separator between each of those. So we get these three new fields here, and we can just rename them to coach, calories, and music type, making sure that we, of course, make this calories field into a numeric data type rather than a string, so just from the drop down here. Okay, so we go through all those changes that I've just mentioned, remove that F5 as well, and that's all the changes that we've made in this step. Next, we want to make our music type be title case. So if we go to this next step, then what I chose to do, how I chose to do that, I split up this into two fields, so splitting on the space. So that gives us these two fields. And then I wrote a calculated field, which was basically just taking the first letter of the first field. So in the case of everything rock, then it would take the E from everything and make that uppercase, and then concatenate that with the right letters. So how many of those letters do I need? So for everything, the V to the G, then I need the length of that field minus 1. And that's how I can get that first word capitalized. And then we have, for example, hip hop, which doesn't have two words. So we need an if statement next. So we say if there is nothing for the music split 2, so if there's these empty quotation marks, then we'll just add nothing to the end of that first word. So hip hop, it would have its first H capitalized. We're happy. We don't need to do anything more to it. But otherwise, if that's not the case, if there is a word, then we'll add in a space. And then we'll add in again, we're literally doing the same thing that we did before to capitalize our second letter, and then making sure we end with an end there. Okay, so that then gives us our music type in uppercase, which is great. Sorry, title case. And then we can just get rid of those additional fields that we used to help us build those fields. Okay, then we need to come and create our parameters. So we have one for coach, and you can see that I've just listed all of the coach names. I had to manually type those in. I'm not aware at the moment of a way to dynamically input them from the data, but I've added in my coach, my music type, so both of these are string types, and then a top n parameter as well. And I've made this one be a whole number, and I've just given some values. I could have allowed all values, probably might have been slightly better, but I've got it as top n for now. Okay, and one thing to note about the parameters is that when we make a change to a parameter, if I click on Emily, for example, to change the coach, I would need to then say set so that it updates the workflow to reflect that. You can see how when I haven't made a change, it's kind of grayed out the step button. So that's necessary to do to make things update in the workflow later. Just in case that caught you out, because I definitely changed it and then just clicked away and nothing changed, and I wondered why. So make sure you're aware of that. So in order to be able to do our top n filtering, we need to do a rank. So on our calories field, if we go to our ellipsis menu, create calculator field, and create a rank, then that will open up for us this pop-up. So we're ordering by our calories in descending order, and we are also grouping by our coach and our music type, and we are doing our ranking. Okay, so then we can get rid of our units field there as well, but then we can use our filter to say that our rank is less than or equal to the top n. So now all that's remaining is our top 5 for each coach and music type. Then we can filter. So we want to make sure that our coach is equal to our coach parameter and our music type is equal to our music type parameter. So I've done that all within one filter with the word and in there. Nice and simple. And then we're ready to do that output. So we can select as normal what our output type will be, where our location will be, and then we just write out, as the example was, to say that Preppin data week 2022 week 34 output top, and then go to the drop down here. We put in our top n parameter. You can see that's in purple there, and then we can add in the coach and the music type as well as we please. And you can see how it updates. It's got the preview here. It's also got the preview here, and that matches exactly what was required for this solution. So hopefully that was enjoyable use of lots of different parameters, and thanks very much for watching.